Good morning, members. Grant Gibson here, Deputy Director of Golf at Clearwater Bay Golf and Country Club. And today I have a very special guest in our course architect, Mr. Harley Kruse. Harley's flown up from Australia. He's been on site for the last 11 days. And I want Harley to give a little explanation on the changes we've done with our bunkers on the course. Harley, great to have you here.
Grant, actually fantastic to be here as well, because it's been over 2 years in the waiting to do this, and it's really good to finally get to Clearwater Bay and be able to see things firsthand and get underway with some of the finer tuning of some of the bunker work. Obviously the bunkers have been a critical issue for years, leading up to this work. Every time there was a rainstorm, sand would wash, windstorms, sand would blow out of bunkers. So when Peter caught on to the idea of this EcoBunker product, which is the artificial sod edging and the capillary concrete base, having bunkers that can be resilient to the wind conditions, i.e. make them smaller and a bit deeper and take out maybe some unnecessary areas of sand too, to actually reduce the amount of maintenance the maintenance staff need to do with maintaining bunkers, because typically after greens maintenance, bunkers becomes the second highest sort of maintenance activity in terms of man hours and time. So if we can reduce the amount of man hours and time being put into bunkers, that means we're going to have more man hours and time to put in making better quality turf out there. So look, it's been a good project, and finally great to be here to help with the final stages of, I think we've got about, 14 or 15 bunkers to go.
Correct. Yeah, correct. Well, members, I certainly hope you've enjoyed this little introduction with Harley. Now we're going to go out to a couple of strategic holes and take a look, and Harley's going to talk in a little more detail why we've made some of these changes. Okay, members, here we are down on hole 2, just to the left of the fairway, and I want Harley to talk through the changes we've made into the fairway here off the tee and what effects that'll have on golfers. Harley?
Yeah, thanks, Grant. I guess one of the thoughts behind hole 2 is it was fairly cluttered with a lot of bunkers, and if we can declutter the course a little bit of bunkers, that's probably a good thing. And I think this is one area where was sort of the cliff and the cliff edge being the main hazard on this hole. And I thought, well, why not allow golfers to hit up into this area where the bunkers were? So by taking the bunkers out, there's now that opportunity to hit up right into that part of the fairway. And potential advantage of that, depending on what the wind's doing, is a better able golfer might have the option of playing from that area right of the bunkers towards the green down the right side of the hole. Equally though, a lot of people play left on this hole, and it's a fairly easy hole off the tee if you play left, because you're keeping away from the trouble. So to give a bit of challenge and a bit of interest to the tee shot, is the intent now would be to bunker in the left over here where we have the first grassy mound here on the left, at about 230 yards off the blue tees, and right in, so the golfers actually really have to think about where they're going to place the tee shot, and if they can negotiate past that bunker, the reward is they've got to have a better angle into the green from that side of the fairway. So getting rid of the clutter on the right, opening that up, and then bunkering in the left is sort of the key message, I guess, here on this hole. And I think it's going to be tee to green. When we talk about the next part of the hole, I think this is a good development that we've been able to do here with the works here.
Oh, great. Okay, let's go down to the second part of the hole and we'll go through some of the changes that we've made down there.
Sorry, hole 2, blind, second shot over the hill, par 5 down to the green behind us here. Always felt that this bunker in the middle of the fairway was way too big and taking away some shot options down the left-hand side of the hole. By filling in this left side of the bunker as you play the hole, and keeping this part of the bunker here, and then mowing this as fairway, and we've extended the fairway out left. Where we've got room to make fairways wider, let's make them wide. We're in a windy spot here out on the Ocean 9, so we've made it wider, and what we've done through doing that is we've given the golfers a lot more options to play the hole. You can play it right of this bunker or play left, and that's the first part of that approach into the green for the next shot to the green. And then I guess the other big thing is we've taken out the front greenside bunker out of the front. And the reason being is really, again, to just make the golf hole a bit more interesting, a few more options in terms of shots, opening up the front of the green, which some people might perceive that as being easier, but in actual fact what we've done is we've filled it in there, we've turfed it. We're going to mow that area really tight and have it firm, so when your ball lands there, it could do a few things. It potentially, if it was just a bunker, it would have just landed straight in the bunker, one shot out, you're on the green. Now it's a situation where, depending where you are on that bank, your ball may stay up there, or it may roll back down to the valley below. It may be a shot where you just bump and run a ball up onto the green, or you may putt off the side of the green now to get up to the pin. So it gives us a few different shot options, which should actually make the hole more interesting without the frustration of a bunker player for the higher handicapper. But equally for the better player, off tight lies, am I going to putt? Am I going to use a wedge, or am I going to bump and run the shot up to the pin? So sometimes tightly mown grass around greens can be a little less predictable than having bunkers. So in that sense, I think we've improved the hole, and we're going to make the hole a lot more interesting for a greater range of players in the club.
Yeah, I definitely think we're having more shot selections will make it different. And one thing in particular, members had said to me, and just golfers in general, as soon as you get rid of a bunker, that all of a sudden it becomes easier. But as through our dialogue we've had in the last 11 days, you've explained to me in just that, you have more actually shot selections, which actually makes it harder and less predictable. I definitely think it'll be a lot of fun for our members to play. I certainly hope you've enjoyed this little series we've had with our course architect on some of the strategic holes and changes we've made to the golf course out there with the eco-bunkering system. I certainly hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy playing the new course in the upcoming months when it's completed by October 1.